So, nobody admit to your crimes now that we're on the quote-unquote air.
Or at least not to any felonies. Misdemeanors?
Petty theft.
Yeah. Whatever.
I'm not gonna admit to, robbing a bank, but, stealing
Have I forgotten to scan something at the self-checkout? Yes. And not even
Do I not pay?
not even the purposeful kind, the kind where I walk out to my car and I'm like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Do I avoid paying my taxes? Maybe, but they won't catch me on camera saying that.
Alright, well. We're here, friends. We made it. Episode 100. We have entered the triple digits, which is utterly insane to me, because I started this because I was bored. And now here we are, with the return of the Short King, Mr. Kyle Bristol himself, and the lovely Possum W.
Hi.
Joining us for the first time on the podcast here to hopefully get really, really heated because of the opinions I saw in the group chat regarding the question that we're going to be talking about today. I think things are going to get heated. And our roundtable is ever so slightly smaller than initially anticipated due to some last-minute schedule changes, but I think we can still bring enough energy.
Yeah, plus there's too many people talking over each other and stuff. It's better.
On the one hand, I kind of live for that, but on the other hand, it is a bitch to edit, so.
See? Silver lining.
A little give and take. But does anyone have anything they feel like sharing just about their life or their day, or maybe a fun fact that they know before we get into it? I ask this question almost every time we record and then receive blank stares in return, because I never learned my lesson.
To do something for the 100th episode, I wanted to get a pair of glasses that was 100, and then you got the zeros and an exclamation point to balance it, or get some of those little confetti popper things.
That would have been fun.
And then I forgot because my schedule is bananas.
I don't think I have. No, I don't even think I have glitter.
I was like, do I have anything celebratory? I have one of those things that you blow into and it unfurls, but it's broken so it doesn't make sound.
Oh, I have one of those, but it's from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, so it's already buried in my cosplay bin.
I meant to keep mine.
Okay.
What are those ones called that you spin around and they?
Oh yeah. Put sound in this in post.
Yay! I actually will. Because that finally gives me some legit editing to do instead of just chopping off the beginning and ending. Anyone else have the 3 beverage? Is anyone else triple wielding beverages? 1 for fun, 1 for hydration, and 1 for energy?
Wielding.
I have a combined fun and energy.
Alright.
And water.
I've got tea for energy, water for hydration, and some seltzer for fun. I'm a triple beverage lady.
What's everyone's fun little drink? I typically get myself 1 fun little drink every week, or else I believe I'll die. For me, that's
Same.
boba, but does everybody have a fun little drink?
I will sometimes get boba because it's because the little balls are eating Polly Pocket clothes.
Yes.
Which is precisely what I want. I'll either get boba or I will get a chai latte, either hot or iced depending on the season, and also if it's summer, sometimes I will get myself a sweet either strawberry refresher from Starbucks or the dragon fruit refresher.
Dragon fruit, yep.
Yeah, so that's my fun little beverage. And honestly, I think all girls are entitled to 1 fun little beverage per day, and they shouldn't have to pay for it.
Absolutely.
Guys, you're on your own.
See,
I like to try a new flavor of seltzer every week.
Oh.
I haven't tried. Find some interesting ones.
I'm here for it. Brooks, were you gonna say something?
Oh, I generally don't go out and get drinks like that, but I do have limited soda that takes me forever to drink, and every once in a while I'm like, ooh, let me open a can of that. And then it takes me 3 days to drink a can of soda.
I know, you terrify me.
It's Yeah, so that's my treat. I had a really long day, and I was like, oh, I want some vanilla Coke. So that's what
I have said this
Oh,
many
I-
times before on the podcast, but I am a beverage lady, and so things never last me very long, and I don't understand how people, like one of my old college roommates, Grace, if you're watching, this is directed at you, love you, miss you, but she would get, like, an iced coffee and still have it, like, 3 hours later, like,
Yeah.
2/3 full. I'm like, why?
Oh, it'll take me like 6 hours to drink my coffee at work sometimes. I just have it all day.
You are all bizarre to me. Please know this.
I've definitely had boba for a long period of time because I like to savor.
I mean, I tell myself I'm going to, and then that just doesn't happen.
I'm a little afraid. Oh, sorry, continue.
Oh, good.
Oh, I'm a little afraid of people who can specifically drink like a iced coffee or like a chai latte for hours. Similarly to Grace at a friend in college, who we would punctuate our study sessions with like getting an iced coffee or something, and she would drink it all day until all that water and milk had separated. I was like, girl, that cannot be good for you.
Disco's thing. No, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that's why I get mine with no ice.
Mm-hmm.
But then you just have room temperature beverage.
That doesn't bother me.
Okay, you know what? And then we might as well get into what we're talking about today.
Oh, that's right. I wasn't even thinking about the fact.
Today's topic is unfortunately partially inspired by the fact that that Americans put a weird amount of ice in their drinks, and we did try to invite 2 Europeans who wound up not being able to make it all within the past like 2 days. So we do not have that perspective for us anymore, although I suppose maybe I could like get a couple comments and edit them in and put them on the screen during the credits or something. I don't know. But today's topic of discussion is beverage temperature and ice in beverages. Just kind of not even necessarily a question, just sharing thoughts and opinions on those two things. And since we have inadvertently stumbled into it without any kind of formal introduction with your comment there, Brooks, room temperature. Make your points. Defend yourself. Let's talk.
First of all, I have long maintained, and I feel like you and I have had this like conversation in some form before, but I've long maintained that you can train yourself to like anything, or at least be okay with anything, as long as you just keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a lifelong hatred of wasting food and beverages, like wasting anything really. And so I was trained myself to just keep drinking the soda even when it's warm and flat. And eventually it just stopped bothering me. And so I've said the same thing about food. Like I used to hate tomatoes when I was a kid, but I just kept making myself eat them, and now I like eat them as snacks.
But just like, why would you do that to yourself? To get to
Why
that
wouldn't
point
you?
is my question.
Why wouldn't you?
Because there's so much unpleasantness to get to that point.
Well, because then I don't waste beverages. That's good.
Jesus Christ.
And I eat tomatoes, which are healthy.
Your concern about not wasting like half a can of soda is fascinating to me.
It's immoral.
Oh my god.
So when did the hurt begin, Brooks?
Well, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Every time I've ever had to waste anything or throw anything away, I feel guilty because I think about all the people in the world, like, that, imagine them, like, being so stoked to have a half a can of soda.
Yeah, but you're one person.
Yeah. And so that's all I can control, so I control that.
That is entirely fair. However, the entity to blame for the fact that there are people who would be happy to have, a single leftover half can of soda is one, capitalism, and two, corporations.
Yeah. That still doesn't mean I can't do my part.
You're completely right.
I love, you have a very specific tone that you take on when you think I'm right about something and you're so disappointed by it.
Yeah, it's called You're Right, but I'm really annoyed.
Yeah. It's just a very specific tone for that specific circumstance.
I'm an open book.
I got to capitalism so quickly.
We get there a lot. Like a lot.
What do you think about beverage temperature, capitalism. Like,
No, literally, that just reminds me of the tweet. It's like, the plot progression in Twin Peaks is ridiculous. It's, I wonder who killed this small town homecoming queen, to the creation of the atom bomb has spawned horrors beyond our imagination.
true.
Oh, Twin Peaks, love you so much. Beverage Morodos. Yeah, I should. Is anyone else an ice eater here, or am I just gonna be like, okay, fantastic?
Cruncher. Or cruncher.
I love the crunch.
There's so many other more pleasant things to crunch on
Ex-
than ice.
I mean, yeah, technically, but like, I
That
don't know,
don't
it's very
hurt you.
satisfying. It hurts
Yeah.
you? Explain.
My teeth are too sensitive. It actually hurts me too.
Well, yeah, it's
Oh,
Yeah.
babies.
The cold of it. If you have sensitive teeth, that level of cold is painful.
That's just not a... Okay, so that maybe that explains some of your stances, because that's simply just not a problem I have. I mean, I don't like so much ice in a beverage that I'm getting ripped off. Like, that annoys me, but, like, if I'm ordering an iced chai, like, I don't want it to be watered down, but I also, like, don't want it to be room temperature in, like, 5 minutes. I ordered it iced for a reason. It's hot out. I want my beverage to have an effect on my body temperature.
okay. So I have a question then.
Hit me with it.
Why not just say you're ordering this drink from like a store, a restaurant,
Yeah, I mean, I asked for
and
light ice.
you could order it like you can order an iced drink, just a drink that comes cold. It doesn't need to have ice in it, right? If it's hot out and you want something cold to drink because it's hot, why don't you just order a cold drink?
I mean, I
Because like
can,
you said, the
but I don't want
ice
zero
is
ice in it, because then the temperature is gonna, like, it's not gonna maintain at all. Like, I don't need it to be cold for hours, because when I buy a beverage, it does not last that long for me, but I would like it to be cold for more than a minute.
you need to drink faster then.
Well, no!
This has
That's
become
already a
conversation-
problem I have!
it's become a conversation not just about like ice and beverage temperature, but like how quickly you drink. Like, I feel like that's a big part
Good,
of it
I
too.
want this to branch off in a million different ways, and I want us to all be screaming at each other by the end.
I mean, everyone does it differently, but you can't want, the perfect amount of ice in your drink at any given moment,
Okay, I mean, you're
and
allowed to
then
want
not
anything, first of all,
and
Kyle.
and then not drink quickly enough to keep it at that stasis. I don't know. I mean,
I don't have to
With
take
big
this from
ice
someone who
causes you
doesn't
to think.
stir his coffee.
Yeah, that is weird. I know we talked about this on the pod before, but
We're
Just
rehashing.
very
We're rehashing everything tonight. Yeah, Kyle, would you like to explain your coffee prep methods to Possum here?
I stir occasionally.
No, you
So,
don't.
This is how I make my coffee when I get it on my way to work at the convenience store. 9 out of 10 times is I put the sugar and the creamer in the cup first, and then just pour the coffee in and let it mix as it pours. And I don't stir, and that is apparently a weird way to do it. But
Uh-huh.
I, I don't.
And he also
I have a question.
just
I've
bare
never,
hands
ever
a banana
had-
while he's driving.
Yeah,
Like, just
peels the
takes the
whole
whole
thing.
peel off.
that's the thing, right? You peel like an inch at a time or whatever it is. Gradually.
Right.
That's what people do.
Then the
Just
peel
the
but then
whole
the
fruit.
peel gets in my way, and I don't have the second hand to get it out of the way.
That's
I know we did this in the
I thought we were
pod
talking
before,
about drinks.
but Have
We'll
you
get-
thought about not eating a banana? I think was the conclusion we came to before.
I've actually
Yeah.
I've actually stopped doing that.
Okay, so we have had
A
an
lot.
impact.
Glad.
Yeah.
How do you function without rogue bananas?
Don't call it that. Holy shit.
Eating them while driving, I should clarify, not eating them peelless.
Yeah.
Because
A
I don't
lot.
like the peel.
I have a dirty mind. Somebody help me.
Oh, I know what you were thinking. It was semi-intentional.
Oh, okay, fantastic. I'm glad that I have that effect on you.
I have 2 questions
Yes.
for Kyle. A question about the coffee. Like when you're drinking it, do you have like all the sugar just at the bottom, or do you find that it mixes, or what's your method there?
I've never had any issues with there being like clumps of sugar in it,
Mhm.
and I've been doing it so long. I'm good at just eyeballing like how much of everything I need, and I just pour the coffee in real quick, and it works.
I keep thinking about the banana. I'm sorry. It's affecting me. That's my second question is you just like hold the banana while you're like driving? Like don't you have to touch other things afterwards in the car?
Uh, no, not really, because I finish it before I get to work, and then I wipe my hands off and
Okay.
get out.
And then you just have, but like for that time, you just have banana hand.
You do.
Well, then you have spit hand.
Okay, well we're not.
I mean, life is messy. I have hand
Yeah, we're not
sanitizer in
gonna
my
get
car,
into
so
that. Although you strike me as Brooks, you strike me as the type of person who like would like lick chip dust off your finger and then be like, okay, now I have to wash my hands.
Oh yeah, I immediately wash my hands. I'm like, I'm not letting that good cheese dust go to waste, so I'm gonna lick it up and I'm immediately gonna wash my hands.
Why do you care so much?
About what? The cheese dust?
No, not
People
about
who
that.
don't
I
like
care
cheese
about
dust.
the cheese dust. Why, why would you wash your hands after that?
Because saliva's gross and I don't want to touch things with saliva fingers.
Whatever, man.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, that was gonna be my question is, are you doing this for the benefit of others or because you think that, well, I mean, I understand not wanting to get like your saliva on things, like your things,
Here's
'cause
okay.
it'll make a
Here's a
mess.
question I have for you, Brooks, and please answer honestly. Am I just gross?
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
All right. You
I
know
was
what?
thinking about the scale of grossness that I've encountered in my lifetime. No.
I will take it. I will take it.
Like, I get that other people do it and I don't really care, but it just personally bothers me.
I'll
I'm a
allow
clean
it.
person.
Here's the thing.
I
I
want to
am
shower
too.
twice a day now.
That's excessive.
Not every day, most days.
Anyway,
It's the running. Too much running.
I mean, that's something you inflict upon yourself.
I'm not complaining.
I mean, you are a little.
I was just giving an example of how clean I am.
All right. Bringing it back to beverage temperature. Or I could
This would
just.
be a good. This would be a good yarn board discussion.
This would be a very good yarn board discussion because it's bringing up so many things. Like, it's bringing up so many other things, like, the sheets thing.
We're gonna rehash a real argument.
We're rehashing a lot of old arguments, and frankly, I'm thinking of several that I had with Maddie, the first co-host of this podcast, that we haven't had fresh opinions on, that I have been reminded of over the course of this discussion. So maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't. But yeah, you can roast me for the sheets thing if you want, just real quick.
Which part? The fact that you don't use the top sheet, as you call it.
No, the thing with the pull-out couch.
Oh, the part that you refuse to use sheets on my pull-out couch.
Yeah, it just doesn't have to be that complicated.
Because and you weren't even. I was gonna do it. I just had the sheets in my hands. I'd already gotten them out, and you were like, "No."
I don't know
I'm
why
like,
you
"But
get
I'm gonna
so
do it."
mad that I just put a blanket down and I'm done with it.
It's gonna take me like 20 seconds.
That's why I started bringing a sleeping bag to your house.
You know, it's really not complicated to just put a fitted sheet on and then throw the flat sheet at you. Like, it's not.
Okay, well, first of all, I wouldn't even be using the flat sheet, so
Well,
write
it's part of
that
the set.
down.
Part of the set. Hey, you can't put flat sheet in quotes because that's the actual term.
I don't care.
I think the flat sheet is a scam. I don't use it.
Thank you.
I sleep on top of the duvet.
I am forced to use it because I have a massive, bulky winter duvet on my bed right now that does not fit in my washing machine. And I hate it. I feel so trapped.
And that's exactly what flat sheets are for, is because generally you're not going to like wash your comforter or whatever it is all the time because it's big and it's bulky and it, you know, takes more energy and all that stuff. But you're supposed to like change your bedding once a week. And so you're not going to wash that every week. So you have the top sheet that covers it so you don't get your skin flakes and whatnot on it. And then you don't have to worry about washing it as often. That's the point.
Yeah, but I just don't like it.
Do you guys sleep under the comforter / duvet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I sleep on top of it. I don't even bother. I make the bed, like there's sheets, a fitted sheet, and there's the fitted sheet, there's the comforter, and then I just sleep on top of it. And then when I change the sheets, I just do the whole thing.
Fascinating. What do you cover your body with?
I just use a blanket. I sleep on top of it.
Okay, I'm not gonna say that I've never done that.
Mhm.
There have been times where it's like the middle of winter, and I like sandwich myself between like my really fuzzy winter duvet and then my weighted blanket on top, and like that's nice.
Mhm.
So I do that sometimes. Like, I'm not gonna say I've never done it.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially with the weighted blanket. That just doesn't like work very well as like a fixture on your bed, like permanent, you know? It's more of like oh, I'm gonna take a nap with that.
No,
Yeah, so-
I will try and find this tweet or like this post. Somebody wrote, do weighted blankets come in colors other than mental illness gray?"
Mine's gray.
So is mine. And like, they're right. Do they? I don't know. I don't think so. I've never seen a weighted blanket that was not gray.
My mom had a maroon one.
Mhm.
Very nice, Christmassy color. Or Christmas red, I guess.
Interesting. Well, there you have it. I guess that we have answered that question, but honestly, shout out to whoever tweeted that. You're funny as fuck.
Mine has 2 covers. They're both gray.
Yeah.
Different fabrics, like one's a more wintry, soft, like versus a cool cotton.
Oh, I don't even have... You're fancy. I have one cover and I live with it.
And came with it.
I said we were gonna bring it back around and then we just didn't, but let's do that now. Who was it? Possum, you're probably gonna know the answer to this because you were the one in the chat and you might be the one who said it. Who was it who was like either cold or room temperature, nothing hot?
Oh, that wasn't me, but I don't know who that was in the chat, but they were not a fan of hot drinks. I feel like it might have been Therese. I could be wrong.
It's either Therese or PJ.
Oh, it might be PJ.
You know what? No, I think it is.
Mhm.
She had a lot to say about ice as well.
She did.
Which is why I'm so sad that she was like, I don't think I have the confidence to do a podcast. But anyway, the notion of being anti-hot beverage is a fascinating take to me.
Mhm.
For that person to not know the comfort of a warm beverage on a cold day.
Literally.
To like come in after being outside and have been like chilled to the bone and having a nice cup of tea or hot cider.
No, for real. Like, it doesn't, like, again, no judgment, nothing but love, doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, I just feel bad for the person because I just can't imagine not having that experience.
Yeah, no, not a fan of that conceptually at all.
2 hot drink questions. I have 2 hot drink questions.
All right, let's go.
My first one, would you ever, like, if you wanted a hot drink, would you ever just order a cup of hot water? And my second one, is chocolate milk the same as hot chocolate? Is it just the same thing but cold? Discuss.
Oh shit, I've never thought about that. Would I
No,
ever just
they are
order
not the
hot
same thing.
water? No.
I do that all the time.
Explain.
I don't want tea, I just want hot water.
Like, do you get looks for this? Do people have
Yeah.
questions?
So like
I'm not judging. This is just not something that I would do.
the server's like maybe they just brought their own tea bag.
Nope. I just love a nice, refreshing glass of hot water.
Well, the thing is, I am that bitch who, like, brings their own tea bags places. Like, I have a little tin that I carry around in my Kanken bag that goes with me everywhere, and it looks like a little British phone booth, and it has
Aw.
tea bags in it because none of that Lipton shit. Thank you.
So how many interactions have you had with people when you've ordered hot water and they say, oh, for tea, and you say no, and they just stare at you?
That's how they always go. All of them. They're like, oh, do you want us to just show you what tea we have? And I do drink tea and I do get tea from restaurants. But sometimes I just, I can't be sated unless I have a cup of hot water.
This fascinates me.
When one of my residents at work asks me for a cup of hot water, I have never once thought maybe they would just want to drink the hot water. So I'm not teasing you. I'm just
Hot water drinkers, they're among us. I'm one of them.
I'm about to go into my classes tomorrow and start class with a survey.
No, if you do that, I will have the window in between when this episode comes out to like edit the results of that into the end credits. Please do this, I'm begging you.
It's easy enough. I use like poll everywhere in class,
Mm-hmm.
where they can just answer whatever question that's on the board on their device, so it's quick enough to.
Oh, this is completely unrelated, but the fact that somebody said Among Us just reminded me of this meme I saw. I love this genre of meme where it's like, hold on, let me Google something, and then the original poster returns and is like, yeah, okay, this is funny. There was a screenshot of people playing Among Us, and they were saying that, oh, the little red character is the imposter, and someone goes, this is McCarthyism. And somebody was commenting on this screenshot and goes, hold on, I gotta Google something, and then comes back and goes, yeah, this is funny. Just like, that's my favorite genre of humor, where someone like clearly does not have the like cultural reference point, so they have to go look it up before they get the joke. Then they come back and they're like, yeah, this is good. I've seen a couple examples of it, but that's one that sticks out in my mind. I feel like I had somewhere where I was going after that, but it just completely... Which happens often here.
I'm still thinking about the drinking hot water thing. I think the only reason it seems weird is because we've never done it. You know? Like, if that was a thing you just did growing up, like anything else, right? I mean, Europeans might think it's weird to put ice in things, but that's just not what they grew up doing, so it seems weird. But it's not any weirder than any other thing we do with beverages.
I might honestly try it on like a really cold day this winter.
Yes.
The agenda spreads.
I love a cup of hot water with just a lemon. Oh, so good.
See, that's different. That changes the whole thing.
He's kind of right. I do think
Well, I
that
drink it
actually
straight
is.
up.
I do think that is the hot water with lemon. I do think that's a thing that people do for like vocal performance. So that's not like unheard of. But I am gonna agree and say that definitely changes the game.
Yeah. The lemons if I'm feeling fancy.
I love it.
Yeah, I think we expect our hot beverages to have flavor, and so if they don't, then it feels weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of a similar feeling to like when you have two beverages in front of you and then you pick up a different one than you thought you were picking up. Like if I accidentally picked up my water instead of my soda and was expecting it to be soda, and then it hits your taste buds, you're like, ah!
I will literally never forget the time when I was in a restaurant with my family and I was like 8 and I ordered a Sprite, my sister ordered a water, and they came in these identical like paper cups with plastic lids and straws, and my sister like up until she started drinking beer when she was in college, hates carbonated beverages. And like I get it, I feel like a lot of the time the carbonation in soda is like a little more in your face than with like beer. But when she wasn't looking, I switched our cups. And she like took a sip and spit it out all over the table. And I will never forget that. Sorry, Claire. Actually, not sorry. It was really funny. Anyway.
We did not address the second question.
I was about to say, I want to talk about this chocolate milk thing.
Yeah. So this is like a mini argument. Not like an actual argument, but like a fun argument I got into with my girlfriend recently because she bought chocolate milk from the store and she's like, "Hey, do you want chocolate milk?" I said, "No." And then she's like, "But I've seen you drink hot chocolate before." And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Because it's hot chocolate and I don't like chocolate milk." And she was like, "They're the same." I'm like, "No, they're not. One is cold, one is hot, but arguably they are very different to me." I want to know your thoughts.
Here's the thing. I think there are probably people out there who, you know, just aren't getting fancy with it and would consider if you start with milk that is warm and then you put like chocolate syrup in it and mix it together, that would count as hot chocolate. I am not in that camp, but I'm gonna confidently say that there are definitely people, like, they definitely exist. Do I think they're right? No.
We're basing
Isn't
this
that
on
a
the assumption you make hot chocolate with milk, right?
Correct. You are only
Some
allowed
people
to
use
make
water.
it with water if you are lactose intolerant, and in that case, like, what the fuck are you doing? It's chocolate.
That's how I grew up making it. With water.
You didn't know any better, I will let it slide.
It was a different time.
So
1980, whatever.
I have never had hot chocolate made with milk that I know of. I thought it was just water. It's one or the other, right? You don't mix both of them to make hot chocolate, right? There's
No,
nobody that does that.
I mean, there are, like, the packets where it's, like, it has, like, some form of, like, dairy in it. And that's
Okay.
so,
Yeah,
like,
but
you
I
can
mean-
make that with water, but, like, I think that's classless.
Well, I thought I was
I'm mean,
always
I'm
under the
sorry.
assumption that
It's lower calorie.
because like
Whatever, man.
hot milk and chocolate or cocoa or whatever, that's like a different drink, isn't it? I thought hot cocoa was just hot water. That's must just be like my lower middle class upbringing, instant hot cocoa and water.
I have absolutely no idea.
You can make it either way. Like on the package, it actually says add to either like 3/4 a cup or whatever it is, hot water or milk.
Okay, here's the
Okay.
thing. Is it allowed? Yes. Is it morally right? Debatable.
Yeah. I got into the hot chocolate game late in life because I didn't like chocolate milk. I didn't like hot chocolate when I was younger. And then my friend brought me to Wawa one day and she's like, "I gotta put you onto this." And I tried it and it's like, "Okay, you've changed my mind." Hot chocolate, I enjoy their hot chocolate there. And ever since then, I have kept an endless list in my phone of every hot chocolate I've had and I've rated them and ranked them. And I am now a connoisseur. And one day while I was in college, my friend was like, "Hey, do you want hot chocolate? I'm gonna make some." I'm like, "Yes, I'd love some." And she gave me the kind that was made with water, and I drank it, and I was like, "Oh no, something bad happened here." And I won't shame anyone who does drink it with water, but now that I've had it pretty much exclusively with just milk or like oat milk, I can't do the water. I can't do it.
Yeah, no. And I mean, unless it's like those little Keurig cups where you don't have a choice.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, can't do it. Not a fan. Will you provide this list to the people?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
See, because I grew up using water, to me, using like milk tastes like too rich to me. It tastes because I started doing it. I was like, I've never tried it that way. Let me go ahead and do it. And I'm like, that's too much for me. It's a little too sweet and like frothy.
Okay,
Thick.
old lady.
Your tolerance for sweets goes down as you get older. That is
no,
like
I
totally
know.
true.
I just like to be mean to you because it's fun.
I'm not old.
You're
I'm
not
40
old.
yet. I'm not old until I hit 40.
You're not
You
even
can make
old
fun
when
of
you
me in
hit
3
40.
years. Huh?
You're not even old when you hit
I know.
40.
I know.
I just like to make fun of you. I call him old, and he's what, 3 years older than me?
Yes, but mentally, I'm really
You and I are the same age mentally.
True.
which
I stopped mentally aging at one point.
is interesting. Just considering how different we act as people.
Just as I tried to explain to my class yesterday with my office possum, Larry, that, that advertising convinces us to buy things we don't need, but I kind of needed that.
Oh, you 100% did. That's a necessity.
Yeah, I mean, I need a giant
Wow.
fake possum that hangs on my computer monitor.
You can come up, just don't use my skin as your leverage. Thank you.
It's the boy.
Surprised he hadn't made an appearance already.
He has his cat tree has this little like basket, and he is in love with it. Like, it's not just like the platform bed.
Yeah.
It's like a little kitty basket, and it's the perfect size for him, and he is obsessed. And also, this man here gets fresh filtered water from the Brita in my fridge, and he chooses to drink out of my bamboo plant.
That seems right.
Naughty boy. Anyway, yeah, I do not think hot chocolate and chocolate milk are the same. Even if you're technically making them with the same ingredients, they are, like, spiritually different.
Mm-hmm.
I think hot chocolate tends to be, like, chocolatier and sweeter than chocolate milk. Whereas that's more like milk and dairy. Like, the proportion's different, I feel like.
That sounds about right. I mean, I'm completely BSing this, but I'm gonna say that that's right.
I mean, so if that were true to make the, like, heat up the milk and put the, like, chocolate syrup in it, if you just added a lot of it, that would be the same thing. And some marshmallows.
Yeah, I mean, it's
essential.
Illegal not to. You know, this kind of reminds me of a question that I thought that I forgot to write down for later podcast use. And I don't care what science says here. I just want to put that out there to start. So I have 2 things of strawberry jam in my fridge because I'm currently on a break between seasons at work, and I had a jar of strawberry jam in the fridge at work because I would keep like some bagels there so I could have a little jam on a bagel for breakfast because it's real quiet it has been real quiet at work lately towards the end of the season. And I have a jar of the same strawberry jam in my fridge at home. They are now both in my fridge at home. And like, both of these are going to be used well before the expiration date, but they have different expiration dates. So my question is, if you combine them, are you shortening the life of one of those or extending the life of the other? I do not care what the scientific answer is here.
Then I'm not gonna talk.
You're so mean.
Mean.
Why not just finish one
not
first?
Being fun. Because why would I want 2 jars taking up space in my fridge, Kyle?
How much space are they taking up in your fridge?
Well, I just don't want 2 jars. Is that too hard? I just don't want 2 jars.
I get that, but I don't know. I would just be more compelled to use up the older one first.
Because you're adding something, like, if it expires, like, a week before, then, like, you're gonna have a week of old expired stuff sitting on top of the non-expired stuff, and they're definitely gonna blend and seep together.
Well, I mean, yeah. Like, I'm not just, like, this isn't about, like, I wouldn't just put it on top and then, like, not touch it. Like, this, like, it is, like, stirred together.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. So you're stirring the stuff that's going to expire sooner into the stuff that expires later, which then means anything you get out will be partially expired.
Mm-hmm.
The work jar made the trip home with you, so it was exposed to more bacterial growth than the one in your fridge.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, whatever. Again, these are both, like, it is, the expiration date is, like, literal months away on both.
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to get some opinions.
I mean, so
What?
if you're going to use it all before that point, then it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I just thought this would be fun to talk about, and I was right.
What do you have against jars?
I have so many, and I need to stop.
This is the root of your problem.
It is the root of a lot of my problems. I am just a little trinket gremlin. And when I see a jar that could contain some trinkets, another box for my trinkets. It's
I just remembered
a problem.
I've done that exact same thing with pickles. I've had 2 open jars of pickles and I combined them. And I just eat them out of the jar with a
Well,
fork, so
how
that's
the
worse.
turntables. You have, like, literal months-old pickles in my fridge. I'm getting rid of them.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
unless
you
you're
should probably
gonna
get rid
eat
of them.
literal months-old pickles, which is more gross than just eating pickles.
I'm pretty sure that they're still good, but
Do you want them? You can have
No.
them.
No, you can get rid of them.
That's
Okay.
what
I
pickling
have
does. It preserves them.
Hmm?
Pickling is meant to preserve things so they last, like, a long time.
Right. Yeah, I think they'd be good for a while, but I have 2 jars here, so I forgot about them.
You and Marcus
That's
Parks.
why I get
You and Marcus Parks would get along.
the little pickle packs, like the little individual served cups of tiny pickles.
I know.
That's why
Didn't
like
they have
them.
like an awful name?
Oh, it wasn't. I know I took a close-up picture of one of them once to send you to torture you because I know you hated it.
I was really mad about something at your house.
Oh, it's gonna bother me. Yeah, there was definitely something on the label that you found offensive. I have to think on that. There's definitely
Yeah.
a picture on my phone.
Yeah, something pissed me off. I
Good
remember
luck.
that clearly.
Yes, continue discussing while I scroll through my pictures.
Have at it. Do we have anything else to say about, I mean, literally anything at this point? This has been a very, very far-reaching conversation, but would we like to get to the video that I have scheduled
TikTok?
for discussion? Which actually, now that I am currently thinking of it, I'm going to send the link to myself so I can let it play for anyone who might be listening to this audio only. I have too many things on my phone. There's too many documents and too much happening. Also, why does the Google Docs app hate you for trying to use it?
It's evil, I will say.
Like, I really don't understand why they have made an app with such an unfriendly interface. Okay, cool. No,
I
don't.
just came across a picture of you on my couch with Fluffy Cat.
Aw.
Not so long after you shaved your head.
Oh, that was fun. Okay, well, I guess it's not gonna let me play it. Hold on.
Opinion of today is that banana is enough banana, apple is too much apple, kiwi is never enough kiwi, orange is always enough orange. My controversy.
Okay, so now that has played for anybody who is just listening to this, not watching, how do we feel about the points put forth by the creator of that TikTok? Because I disagree on some. I would say that sometimes banana is too much banana. Like, there have been many a time where I'm eating a banana and I'm like, why is this still happening?
They definitely vary in size more than the others,
Yeah.
I think. So yeah, I would agree with that one.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of variety in apple size too, though.
Oh yeah, no, some
Yeah.
you get a lot of variance in apple sizes, but generally the ones that you like that you are eating, because like the Granny Smiths are massive, but generally those are for baking. I feel like I'm normally satisfied with the amount of apple that I get, like, per fruit.
Yeah. I got a giant bag of apples right now, and they're all pretty small, actually, it's a great size.
Yeah. Yeah, no, most of the time when I'm, like, eating a banana, I'm like, why is this still, like, I enjoy it for, like, 2/3, but then I'm like, why is this still happening?
I do concur that kiwi is not enough kiwi.
Kiwi is never enough kiwi. And it's such a hassle to eat is the problem. Because, like, you have to peel all the fucking fuzz off.
Yeah.
Do you peel kiwis?
Possum, you do not just eat them with the skin on.
Oh, you guys. You're not living.
You are lying. No, you're lying.
That's like eating an
Also,
animal
I'm
whole.
supposed to know. I'm sorry, Brooks, what did you say?
It's like eating an animal whole. It's so fuzzy. Like,
It brings me back to my roots.
No. Are you serious? You eat kiwi with the skin on.
I have heard you can do that.
You can. If it comes with the skin on, like, if I'm feeling particularly lazy, I'll take a bite.
just you eat it like an apple.
No.
If it comes without it, that's totally fine. Like, if someone's gonna offer to peel it for me, otherwise, I don't have time for that.
Well, I don't eat as much kiwi as I'd like. It's too much work.
This terrifies me.
I mean, I was gonna say kiwi seems like a thing you like prep the day before, like bring it to work for a snack. Because if you're gonna go through all that trouble to peel it and everything, you might as well
Oh,
just
see what I do.
do a bunch at once.
What I do is I slice the top off, and then I take a spoon and you kind of just like scrape it out that way. It is more efficient than like peeling it with like a vegetable / like apple peeler. I am gonna need several business days to process that.
Yep.
But I will agree that kiwi is never enough kiwi. And I don't know about the orange thing because I have real beef with the texture of citrus fruits. Like, I like the taste of a lot of, like, I like orange juice. I like a lot of things that are flavored like citrus fruits. The actual texture of the fruit, something about it. I'm just really not here for it.
I've never been super big on oranges for that reason. I like them, but it is a lot of work, and the stringiness is kind of off-putting sometimes.
It's more for me about the fact that, like, especially like a clementine, I hate, like, flavor, fantastic, I'm a huge fan. The fact that when you like bite down, something kind of like explodes in your mouth and then leaves behind this like empty like water balloon almost. I hate it. Brooks, the joy in your face when I describe that disgusts me. You enjoy that? Please explain.
I love that. Favorite part about a clementine.
It's like eating a natural gusher.
It reminds me of what it's like to be an apex predator. I feel like if I'm an owl to eat a little mouse, like that's what it would be like. I'm also maybe insane, but
okay,
like,
well, I mean that's a prerequisite for appearing on this podcast, but
Yeah, I've got a 5-pound bag of clementines in my fridge right now. And the nice thing is, like, the little segments, they're almost like their own little wrappers, so you can peel them, like, they're good for like 4 or 5 days in the fridge after you peel them and everything. So I'll just do like a whole mess of them at the start of the week and just put them in individual like little containers. And then every morning I can just grab a container of clementine.
It's not that I don't enjoy the like sensation of having something like pop in your mouth. It's the amount that's left over. Or like it's the fact that like
bite into it and spit it out.
That's bad. I don't like that. I don't know. Like when something kind of like, it's why like I have to like inspect every grape before I eat it. 'Cause like I want it to like pop when I bite into it. But there's a difference between the texture of like a grape versus a citrus fruit, where I'm okay with the fact that one of them is exploding in my mouth, and I'm not okay with the fact that the other is. Like, stop giving me that look. I heard it as soon as I said it.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to.
I assume you're talking to me.
But yeah. So I really don't know about the orange always being enough orange.
I think that's right.
Open to, leave a comment. If you have opinions, we'd love to hear them. I'm gonna take a bold stance and say that raspberries are never enough raspberries. Same thing with strawberries. Good shit.
Fair.
Yeah. Actually, really, that goes from, like, all the berries to me. Blueberries, blackberries.
My thing with blueberries is that they are so fucking inconsistent.
Yep.
Very true, yeah.
That is the least consistent fruit I can think of.
Consistent how?
Like, every single one tastes different. Like, there's some variation among, like, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, but blueberries? Like, some of them are, like, ridiculously sour. There's too much, like, there's too many.
Adventure.
No, I don't want that. I want consistency in my fruit.
Just put that on it. That's our new slogan.
Consistency in my fruit. Boom, episode title. I want consistency in my fruit.
Wedding with Friends podcast. Consistency and fruit to us. Just people can decide.
People can decide what that means for themselves. No, that's why the new subtitle for this podcast is group therapy where no one heals.
We get to complain about things, but it doesn't do anything except...
Yeah, no, it doesn't help. It just makes us worse.
Yeah. We just argue about the dumb stuff.
But hey, that's fun. Yeah. Generally satisfied with the amount of apple, and again, kiwi is never enough.
Yeah. So we agree with at least two of the points.
We generally agree, I would say. Although I gotta say, God tier snack that I have just like recently like gotten back on the train of, because I feel like it's like such a like a grade school snack time thing. Some Appy slices and peanut butter. Oh my god.
I thought you were about to say ants in a log, and then I remembered that it's celery.
No, celery's fucking disgusting.
I know you hate
Retweet.
Thank you.
I got celery in my fridge right now too. I dip it in hummus.
Gross.
It's a delightful
Yeah, I've done that.
afternoon snack.
Bad.
Carrots and hummus.
Two textures that I cannot abide.
I know, it used to come in my office when I was eating it.
Be like, gross.
Every time. Because that's a pretty common thing I eat in my office is veggies and hummus.
Yeah. Gross. Mop it up. Anyway. Oh, the little boy is asleep in my lap. We love it.
I like how I'm making it sound like I eat super healthy. Fruits and vegetables.
We've talked about what else we snack on here on this podcast many a time. I don't think our audience is under any illusions.
That's true.
Although I will 100% say that you are way more responsible with food than I am. Although, although that just simply is. That's a fact.
Well, but I ate like you when I was your age. You just change over time.
Makes sense to me. Does anyone have that's technically everything we have listed for today, but if anyone else has anything that they would simply just like to share or bring up or talk about. And there it is.
Wait, one more question.
Yes, hit me with it.
Have you guys eaten cheese sticks lately? Anyone still snacking on those?
Not recently, but they
Never
don't
did,
taste
honestly.
the same if you don't peel it, and I don't know why. You have to peel it.
Oh, we're talking about string cheese.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. For a second, I was like, is there some sort of blank spot in my brain where I'm like, I'm not sure what that is?
No, it doesn't taste right. Like, I literally have not had like a string cheese stick in years, but I know, like, I still remember that if you just straight up bite it, it doesn't taste right, and I don't know why.
I eat them all the time because it's like dairy products like that are good protein after a workout. So I often keep them around. And the little Baby Bell like Gouda cheeses.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so good. Like the regular Baby Bell's fine, but the Gouda is like next level.
Have you seen the TikTok where somebody has a Baby Bell that's like the size of their hand and somebody's duetting it and it's like, where'd they get the juvenile bell?
That was a teenage bell. Look at that. Adolescent bell.
Yeah. But yeah, no, string cheese is gross if you don't peel it, and I don't. I wish I knew why.
Yeah, monster. That's like that meme where there's like somebody who took just a bite out of the Kit Kat when they're all still stuck together.
Disgusting.
Yeah, like that's the same kind of vibe.
It's bad. It's wrong. You shouldn't do it.
That's
like a classic Vine. Was the guy who's like eating the Kit Kat all the way across, and someone's going, "What do you want from me?"
But I bring up the string cheese for that reason because I started eating string cheese. Again, this is like a snack that I missed in my childhood. I started eating it recently because I would eat it for protein, like after working out or going for a walk or something. I only bite it. I do not peel it. I just wanted to bring up the heathenry.
So you just like don't understand that it can be good. Fascinating.
I just wanted to bring that up.
It's because your brain has like been trained to think of things in a certain way, right? It's just like if you have like hot coffee and then it cools down to room temperature, that tastes super weird and wrong, but you take the same thing and you make it cold and it's good again. You know, it's like we just learned that certain things are supposed to be certain ways.
I feel like for the most
so those
part,
little pathways in our brain are very linked.
We just don't want things to be room temperature.
I was trying to think if there was a beverage that everybody was fine with being room temperature, but I don't think there is.
Nobody drinks room temperature water.
I mean,
love it.
I'm fine with it. Yeah, if I'm thirsty.
Yeah, I don't actually like cold water even.
Okay, that's weird. No, that's why I love my Hydro Flask as much as I do. It keeps it nice and crisp.
Must be nice not to have sensitive teeth.
The Lord cursed me in other ways. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I wake you up, sir? Oh, good boy. All right. Well, I think we've been rolling for a hot minute. So I think that's going to bring us to the end of episode 100. Holy shit. Cannot believe we made it this far. Yes, I will edit another. Yay.
I'm just gonna keep doing this. You have to keep doing it. Oh, make it make a different sound every time.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, cannot believe that. I mean, like, not to sound like too self-congratulatory or whatever, because I am not the only, like, I am far from the only person who's worked on this, but, like, I cannot believe that something I started doing because I was bored, essentially, has turned into this. So, like, you know, thank you to everyone who's guested on this podcast. Thank you to everybody who listens. Thank you to all of my previous co-hosts, Maddie Robbins, Emily Whitney, Zach Calderon. Y'all are awesome. And yeah, here's to another 100. This is nuts. It's been real good. I've been having a great time. Thank you, everybody. So, yay, we did it.
Quit saying yeah, because I have to do this. That's
at
least like 7-8 times I've done that now.
We're making more work for each other. It's fine. But yes, thank you, friends, for fighting with us. We appreciate each and every single one of you. We will be back again next week, and we'll see you then. Adios.
Bye.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brookes, featuring special guests Kyle Bristol and Possum W. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98, at Zach Calderon, and at AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon. Thanks for listening!